Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, in this session I'm taking the questions from SSC CGL 2014 paper, and particularly I'll be taking the questions from quant section in this session. In all, there were 200 questions from this quant, GK, English and reasoning to be done in the 2 hours, right? So you can just see that in 120 minutes you have to go through 200 questions. Definitely nobody can do all the 200 questions in this limited amount of time, but yes, in 120 minutes one can target at least 120 questions, that is one question per minute on an average, right? Quant question may take some more time, but the questions from English section, questions from GK, they will not take that much time, right? Because if you know the answer, you can just mark the answer in GK and English, and if you don't know the answer, then just leave it, right? In quant, sometimes you have to solve the questions, so sometimes it may take time, right? Reasoning section, definitely it will take more time than any other section. So in this section, in this session particularly, I'm taking all the 50 questions of quant. I guess I'll be able to solve all the 50 questions in one session. Let's see what happens. And once again, as usual, you are suggested, if you are appearing for any other competitive exams in near future, then you are suggested, as the question appears on the screen, just pause the session and try to do it on your own, right? So this way you'll be able to practice for your forthcoming exams, right? So let's take the first question. Okay. So the first question, 3 numbers are in the ratio 1:2:3 and their HCF is 12, the numbers are. See, for these sort of questions you hardly require any paperwork, right? The first number, second number and third number, that should be maintaining the ratio of 1:2:3. So obviously all the numbers in the options, they maintain the same ratio. Now HCF must be 12, right? Option D, option C, option B, all of them are eliminated, because in case of B, HCF cannot be 12 because the two numbers are odd numbers. Here the HCF is 4, here the HCF is 10. So we're left with this. So as simple as that, right? So it is a matter of 10 to 20 seconds, not more than that, right? Then I just tried this problem. A can complete a work in M days and B can complete it in N days. How many days will it take to complete the work if both A and B work together? Very simple concept from time and work. In one single day, A will be doing 1 upon M work. In one single day, and B will be doing 1 upon N work. So in a single day, M plus N by Mn work will be done by both of them. So how many days will it take? Mn by M plus 1, right? A matter of 20 seconds, not more than that. Now let's try this one. Here x into, it is -2 into -4 into minus a. So it's minus of 8ax, minus 8ax, plus it is 2 into 2 into 4 into a, 4a into 5, 20a, but that will also be minus 20a, and that is actually 4a. Right? Now a will be cancelled. We have to find out the value of x. Now minus 8x is equal to 24. When this minus 20 will go this side, it will be plus 20. So in all it is 24. So minus 8x is equal to 24. That means x is equal to minus 3. So very simple. A tap drips at the rate of 1 drop per second. 600 drops make 100 ml, the number of liters wasted in 300 days. Okay, 1 drop per second, that means in 1 minute 60 drops will be there, right? 600 drops, 100 ml, that means 60 drops, 10 ml. Okay, that means 6 drops, 1 ml. Now since 1 drop is wasted per second, 60 drops will be wasted in 60 seconds. That is 60 drops is wasted in 1 minute, right? Now 60 drop is actually 10 ml. So 10 ml water is wasted in 1 minute. So we can calculate the total number of minutes in 300 days. So 300 days, 24 hours, and per hour 60 minutes, right? Now this is minute, and per minute 10 ml water is wasted. So in these minutes, this much water in milliliter will be wasted, right? Divide by 1000, because we have to answer the question in liters. So 1, 2 and 3, right? So we want just 1 0 at the end. So this is the correct option, right? Because we will not be able to get any other zeros from this multiplication, right? Just 1 0 because we don't have any other 5. So if 5 is not there, you will not be able to get a 0. So from this calculation, you will just be getting 1 0 at the end of the product, right? So do not multiply. The initial digits will be 432 only. You just have to count down the number of zeros, which is 1 in this case. Okay, so 4320 liters. Now see this question. ABC is right angle triangle, B being the right angle, midpoints of BC and AC are respectively B dash and A dash, area of triangle A dash B dash C is. See, when you have to deal with the question from right angle triangle, what is suggested, you just assume the dimensions of the three sides, right? Basically, you must be knowing Pythagorean triplets. Okay, the first thing that comes up in mind is 3, 4, 5, then 6, 8, 10. But in this particular question, because we have to see the midpoints, I'll be taking these dimensions because the midpoints will not be in fraction in that case. Otherwise, in this case, if I choose 3, 4, 5, midpoints will be in fractions, right? So now I just draw the triangle. Okay, here B is the right angle. I assume A and C. This is 6, 8, and 10. Right now, midpoints of BC, midpoint of BC is this, and AC is this. So I have to find out, this is B dash and A dash, area of this triangle. Okay, now this becomes very easy. Area of triangle ABC is what? Half 6 into 8, right? Or precisely it is 24, right? Half base into altitude. So 6 into 8, 48 by 2, 24. Now it is very easy because this complete length is 6. So this half length is 3. Then this complete length is 10. This half length is 5. So this must be 4. So 3 into 4, 12 by 2, 6. Okay, that is the area of this. So this area of this smaller triangle is 1/4 of the bigger triangle, right? So 1/4 of area of triangle ABC. Okay, and the simple funda is there. If sides are done half, then the area will be 1/4. I hope you are clear. A sphere is cut into two hemispheres. One of them is used as bowl. It takes 8 bowlfuls of this to fill a conical vessel of height 12 centimeter and radius 6 centimeter. The radius of the sphere is will be okay. Hemisphere volume is, see, volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r square h, pi r cube. I'm sorry, and the volume of hemisphere will be 4/3 pi r cube. Right, so I'm sorry, 2/3 pi r cube. Volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, so hemisphere will be 2/3 pi r cube. Now 8 hemispheres is equal to 1 conical vessel, right? So volume of this cone will be 1/3 pi r square h. R is 6, so 36 into h is 12. Okay, so only R is an unknown quantity that can be calculated very easily. So it is pi to pi is cancelled, 3 and 3 is cancelled. Then this is 2, 6, and R cube is 36 into 6 by 8. So it is 6 cube, it is 2 cube, right? So 6 by 2, that is 3. So R will be 3. Simple. Let's try this question. See friends, you'll be able to see good number of questions on screen, right? Why I'm not showing you just one question at a time, because even in your exams you will be getting limited space to solve the problems, right? So I'm just showing how to solve the problems in limited space, right? If you are going for paper based exam, then obviously space is a limitation. Okay, so just try to occupy the same space which is there around the question. The perimeter of a circle, a square, and an equilateral triangle are same and their areas are C, S, and T respectively. Which of the following statement is true? Okay, see, perimeter is same, but areas will definitely be different, right? We don't know exactly what is the order. So what we do is we try to calculate the area. Now perimeter is same, but in case of circle the perimeter is 2 pi r, here it is side square, and here it is 3 into side, right? Now what I can do to make the problem simple, see, circle the area, this circumference is 2 pi r, so pi is actually 22 by 7. So what I can do is I can take a number that is multiple of 7, and in case of equilateral triangle the perimeter is 3 times the side. So it will be easy for if we take the number that is multiple of 7 and 3 both, right? So what I do is I assume radius of the circle to be 21, right? So if perimeter is 2 into 22 by 7 into 21, right? So it is 44 into 3, that is 132, right? That is the perimeter. Now perimeter of circle. Now perimeter of square is the same, perimeter of equilateral triangle is also same. Now area of the circle will be pi r square, so that is 22 by 7 into 21 into 21. So it is 22 into 63, do not multiply, let's see later on. Square, the side will be 132 divided by 4, so that is 33. So square area will be 33 into 33. Equilateral triangle, perimeter is this, so side must be 3 4s are, and side is 44. So the area will be root 3 by 4 into 44 into 44. Right, so it is 484 root 3. Now don't multiply the numbers. It is 22 into 366 into 21. The data will go beyond 1200, right? It is 33 square, that's 1089, right? And this is, if it is even 500 into 2, then also it will be 1000. So this data will be less than 1000. So triangle will have least area, okay? And circle will have highest area. So circle, then square, and then triangle. This is the correct option. So this problem may take a minute of yours, but since you can see the other problems are being we can solve them in less than 30 or 40 seconds, so sometimes the time may be compensated. Okay, now see this problem. The list price of the shirt is rupees 440 and customer pays rupees 396 for it. The discount rate is, okay, so 440, he's paying 396, that means 44 rupees he is getting discount. So 44 of 440 is just 10%. So this is a 10-second problem. So sometimes you are taking more time, sometimes you are able to save time, right? So a plate was sold for rupees 6300 after giving 2 successive discount of this and this. Find the mark price. Okay, this is 12.5% and this is 12. I assume the mark price to be X. 12.5% discount. 12.5% is 1 by 8. In percentage session you learn this. So 12.5% is 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is discount. That means the price charge is 7 by 8 of X. Further 10% discount, that means the price charge is 9 by 10 after it. And this is actually 6300. This is 63, so this is just 100. 180 X is 8000 rupees. Pretty simple, a 20-second problem. Okay. To attract more visitors, Zoo Authority announces 20% discount on every ticket which costs 25 paisa. For this reason, sale of ticket increases by 28%. Find the percentage of increase in the number of visitors. Okay. See, I assume the price of ticket is 10 rupees and 10 visitors are coming. So the total collection is 100 rupees. Now 20% discount, that means the new price is 8 rupees. Number of visitors we have to find out, and sales increases by 28%. So the new sale is 128, right? So we can calculate 8, 8 and 6. So initially X was 10, now it is 16. So 60% increases there. Okay, pretty simple. Which of the following represent a correct proportion? Correct proportion, that means this by this is equal to this by this. So 3 4 3 3 4 4 4 3. So 4 is to 3, 4 is to 3. This is correct. There is no none of these. There is no other option which is giving you 1 or 2 is correct, A or B is correct, or B or C is correct. So don't have to calculate further. If in the first case you are getting the right answer, then just mark it and move ahead. Okay, further. I hope you are getting me. Now this problem. A policeman starts to chase a thief. When the thief goes 10 steps, the policeman moves 8 steps. 5 steps of policeman is equal to 7 steps of the thief. The ratio of the speeds of policeman and the thief is. See, it is sometimes this sort of problem becomes difficult to crunch and difficult to execute in just this small amount of time. So sometimes if you feel like that, you can leave these sort of problems, right? But as of now, I'm just explaining how to do this. If you wish, you can learn the concept. When the thief goes 10 steps, the policeman moves 8 steps, right? That means in same time, thief is moving 10 steps and policeman is moving 8 steps. That means distance ratio is 10 by 8, or I can say 5 by 4, right? This is the first equation. Second, 5 steps of the policeman is equal to 7 steps of the thief, right? So timing ratio will be, because distance is same, so now timing ratio, because time and distance both of them are variable, so timing ratio here d1 by d2. Here policeman is, thief is on the numerator, so here it is 7 by 5. Okay, timing ratio, just listen to me once again carefully. Here in the same time, 10 steps, the thief goes 10 steps and the policeman goes 8 steps. That means time is constant. So time is constant, then the ratio of distances is 10 by 8, that is 5 by 4. In the other case, 5 steps of the policeman is equal to 7 steps of the thief. The same distance from this point to this point, the policeman takes 5 steps and the thief takes 7 steps. So in this case, the distance is constant. So timing ratio will be this thief by policeman is 7 by 5, right? Now speed is what? Distance by time. So I have to find out the speed ratio of policeman and thief. So speed of policeman by speed of thief. So in the numerator we have taken police. Here in the police data is in the denominator. So I assume this speed is equal to distance by time, right? Okay. So speed of police is distance of police, that is 4k, by time 5y, by speed of thief is distance of thief, that is 5k, by time of thief, that is 7y, right? So it is 28 by 25. Okay, bit difficult to crunch in small amount of time, but if you know the concept, you can go this way. In the first case, time is constant. In the second case, this distance is constant, right? So this funda we have used to solve this problem. Your final answer is 28 is to 25. In a mathematics examination, the numbers scored by 5 candidates are 5 successive odd integers. If the total marks is 185, the highest score is. Okay, if there are these are successive odd integers, then you can assume the numbers to be x minus 2, x minus 4, x minus 2, x plus 2 and x plus 4, right? So the total is actually 5x. So if you divide it by 5, this will be the middle number, that is this number, and you want highest score, so 37 plus 4, 41. Okay. In 2 successive years, 80 and 60 students of a school appeared at the final examination, of which 60% and 80% passed respectively. The average rate of student passed in percentage. Okay, so from 80 student, 60% are passed, that means 48 are passed. From 60 student, 80% are passed, once again 48 are passed. And out of these 140 students and into 100. So precisely it is 960 by 14, or we can say 480 by 7. So 7, here it is 7 6 are, it is less than 70%, and we have fractional value, so it is 68 4 by 7%, right? No need to calculate to the end, till the end. Okay. Nisha bought a number of oranges at 2 for a rupee and an equal number of at 3 for a rupee. To make a profit of 20%, she should sell a dozen for. Okay, equal number of 3 for a rupee, equal number of 2 for a rupee, a dozen. That means 6 oranges of this case and 6 oranges of this case. So 6 oranges 2 for a rupee she'll be paying 3 rupees. 6 oranges 3 for a rupee she'll be paying 2 rupees. Right? So in all her cost is 5 rupees. If her cost is 5 rupees, she wishes to make a profit of 20%, then it is 6 by 5 of this, then she should sell it for 6 rupees. Okay? Now A's salary is 50% more than that of B, then B's salary is less than A's by. So many problems of this concept we have done in our percentage session. A's salary is 50% more than that of B, that means A salary is 3 by 2 of B. That means B's salary is 2 by 3 or 2 by 3 of A, that is 1/3 less than A, that is 33, 1 by 3 less than A. Right? No paperwork is required at all. Okay, A and B are 20 km apart. A can walk at an average speed of 4 km per hour and B at 6 km per hour. If they start walking towards each other at 7 a.m. when they will meet, right? See, they are starting towards each other at same time, right? So per hour they will be getting closer by 4 plus 6, 10 km per hour, right? Because they are coming from the opposite direction. So the relative speed will be sum of their individual speeds, right? So they are getting closer by 10 km per hour. So to meet they need to cross 20 kilometers. It would take 2 hours. So from 7 a.m. 9 a.m. right? Hardly any paperwork is required. A boat goes 24 km upstream and 28 km downstream in 6 hours. It goes 30 km upstream and 21 km downstream in 6 hours and 30 minutes. That is 6.5 hours. The speed of the boat in still water is. See, I assume the speed of boat is x and the speed of stream is y. So upstream speed will be x minus y. We have done this sort of problem. So time will be 24 x minus y. Downstream 28 upon x plus y. Total time is 6 hours. In the other case, 30 km upstream, 30 by x minus y plus 21 km downstream, 21 upon x plus y is 6 hours and 30 minutes. 6 1 by 2, that is 13 by 2. So 13 by 2, I just multiply it over here. Okay, so these two equations we have to solve. Now friends, sometimes it becomes difficult to solve this sort of questions, right? This sort of equations. What you can do is, see, x minus y, x plus y. This expression is giving an integral value, right? That means x minus y, x plus y, bright chances are there they should be factor of 60 and 42 respectively, right? So what I can do is, suppose I assume factors of 60 as 6 and 10. I choose 10. So 60 by 10, that is 6. So 13 minus 6, 7. That means 42 by 6 is 7. So if x minus y is 10, x plus y cannot be 6. So that is ruled out. Suppose I take x minus y as 6. Then 60 by 6, that is 10. So 42 upon x plus y is 3. So 42 upon x plus y must be in that case 14. So x plus y is 14 and x minus y is 6. It is satisfied in this equation, right? Same thing if I apply over here, 24 upon x minus y, that is 24 by 6, that is 4, and 28 upon 14, that is 2. So 4 plus 2, 6 is there. So x plus y is 14 for sure and x minus y is 6 for sure, right? Here speed of the boat, that is x, we have to find out. So x is a bigger value, 14 plus 6, 20 by 2, 10 km per hour. As simple as that, right? So if you know this logic, if you go by this logic, you can solve this problem in a minute. Otherwise it would take a lot of time. Okay. the compound interest on a certain sum of money for 2 years at 5% per annum is rupees 410. The simple interest on the same sum at the same rate of for the same time is, see, just go through the options. 300 and 350, very less amount, so it cannot be the right answer. They cannot be the right answer. I choose either 400 or 405. I try for 400. Now simple interest for 2 years, if it is 400, that means it is 200 each year, right? Now compound interest is what? Interest on interest for the first year. So 200 and 5%, 10 rupees will be the interest. So the total is 410, which is there. So it is the correct option, right? Hardly 30 seconds. Right? What is the logic we have used? Compound interest is nothing but interest on interest for first year, right? So first year interest is 200. On this, 5% interest will be charged for in the second year. So 5% of 210 rupees. So this is first year simple interest, this is second year simple interest, and this is interest on first year's interest. So total it is 410, and that is actually compound interest, right? 400 is a soothing figure, a simple figure. So start with that. Drop these two options, start with that. If it is not satisfied, then only you go for this. Okay, so 400 is the correct choice. The graph of x is equal to a and y is equal to b intersect at. Okay. X is equal to a, so this is x is equal to a, y is equal to b, this is y is equal to b, so they will intersect over here. So this point is the x coordinate of this point will be a and y coordinate will be b. Okay. What is the value of this square plus this square by this into this? Now that is pretty simple. It is a plus b whole square, it is a minus b whole square. When you expand it, a square plus b square plus 2ab and a square plus b square minus 2ab. 2ab will be cancelled. So we will be we are left with 2 times a square plus b square. Right? No need to write this bigger data, and here in the denominator we have a square plus b square. So cancelled out, we are left with just 2. Okay. See this, x plus 1 upon x is 5, xx plus 1 upon xx is we have to find out. It is bit time consuming but not at all difficult. See, x plus 1 upon x is equal to 5. That means x square plus 1 upon x square will be 5 square, 25 minus 2. So that is 23, right? X square plus 1 upon x square plus 2 is equal to 25. So x square plus 1 upon x square is 23. Similarly, x4 upon 1 plus x4 is a whole square of this and this. So it is a 529 minus 2, 527, right? Now this is actually x square whole cube plus 1 upon x square whole cube. So we can use a formula for a cube plus b cube. So a cube plus b cube is equal to a plus b, a square plus b square minus 1, right? Minus ab precisely. So here ab will be x4 into 1 upon x4, that is minus 1. Now you know x square plus 1 upon x square, that is 23. x4 plus 1 upon x4, that is 527 minus 1, 526. Now instead of solving, what you can do is unit digit must be 8, so eliminate these two. Now you can check the digital root. This is 5 into 5 into 7 and 6, 13, that is 4. Digital root must be 2. So just check here, 9, 8 and 1, 9. Digital root of this is 2. So this is the correct option. Here you can also check, verify. 8 and 4, 12, 13, 14, 15. That means digital root is 6. So this is the correct choice. Okay. Now this is simple. Here it is 5 raised to 1 plus half, that is 3 by 2. Plus 3, and this is minus 3 by 2 in the division, so in the numerator it will be plus 3 by 2, right? 1 upon 5 raised to minus 3 by 2 is equal to 5 raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so it is 3 by 2 and this entire is a plus 2. So 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2, that is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 is equal to a plus 2, so a is 4. Okay, pretty simple. Now let's try this one. X square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Then we have to find out the value of this. So here it is actually x cube plus x plus 1 upon x plus 1 upon x cube, right? Bit lengthy to solve, but yes, can be done in 1 minute. X square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. That means x plus 1 upon x is equal to 3, right? Divide by x, so x square by x is x, plus 1 upon x is equal to 3. That means x square plus 1 upon x square will be 9 minus 2, 7, right? So x plus 1 upon x, and x cube plus 1 upon x cube is x plus 1 upon x square plus 1 upon x square minus 1. So x plus 1 upon x is 3 and x square plus 1 upon x square is 7. So 7 minus 1, 6. 6 3s are 18. So x cube plus 1 upon x cube is 18 and x plus 1 upon x is 3. Yes, so 18 plus 3, 21, right? Now 2 raised to x is equal to 4 raised to y is equal to 8 raised to z. 2 raised to x is equal to 2 raised to 2y is equal to 2 raised to 3z. If base is same, power is same. So x is equal to 2y is equal to 3z. Okay. Now x, y, z ratio is 1, 1 upon 2 and 1 upon 3. So I just take simple ratio 6, 3 and 2. Right, 6 is to 3 is to 2. So I can say 6k, 3k and 2k. So 6 into 18, 18 into 2 is 36, k cube is 288, right? So 6 unit place we want 8, so 6 into 8 less than 10, so it is 36. 8 times k cube is 8, that means k is equal to 2, right? So precisely x is equal to 12, y is equal to 6 and z is equal to 4. Just put up the value of x, y, z over here and you can get the answer. So it is 1 upon 2x, that is 1 upon 24, plus 1 upon 4y, that is 24, plus 1 upon 8 into 4, 1 upon 32. So 96 will be LCM. 24 4s are 24 4s are 32 3s are 4 4 7 4 4 8 and 3 11 by 96, right? Bit calculation is there but can be done in less than a minute. x4 plus 1 upon x4 is 119. Same concept, we have done this problem. 2 problems already we have done with this concept. X cube minus 1 upon x cube we have to find out. So what I do is plus 2 plus 2. So it is x square plus 1 upon x square whole square. Don't write in your exam. I'm just writing it for your convenience. Otherwise it's not at all required. So x square plus 1 upon x square is 121. So x square plus 1 upon x square is 11. Right? So again I deduct 2 from this side and 2 from this side. So x minus 1 upon x whole square is equal to 9. So x minus 1 upon x is 3. Okay, you have to be very fast because time is a limiting factor over here. X cube minus 1 upon x cube, that is x minus 1 upon x square plus 1 upon x square plus 1. So x minus 1 upon x is 3. X square plus 1 upon x square, we have already calculated 11 and plus 1 12 into 3 36, right? Now this problem, 3 plus 2 root 2 raised to minus 3 plus 3 minus 2 raised to minus 3. See, if you can write it 1 upon 3 plus 2 raised to 3 and 1 upon 3 minus 2 raised to 3. 2 root 2 raised to 3. So if you take LCM, it will be positive 3 divided by this into this whole cube. So 9 minus 8 whole cube will be 1. So precisely you will end up getting this 3 plus 2 root 2 whole cube plus 3 minus 2 root 2 whole cube, right? So when you expand it, a plus b whole cube, you will be getting a cube plus 3a square b, but 3a square b and here will be getting negative 3a square b, that will be cancelled. Then we'll be getting 3ab square. So a is 3, b square is 2 root 2 whole square, that is 4 into 2 8, and the last term, that is b cube, here will be getting plus b cube minus b cube, they will be cancelled, right? So this expression will be getting for 2 times, right? 2 times a cube and 2 times 3ab square, right? 2 times a cube and 2 times 3ab square. Okay, so it is 27 plus 3 into 3, 9, 8s are 72, 72 plus 27, 99 into 2, 198. Okay. A problem from geometry. O is the center of the circle, AB is a chord of the circle, OM is perpendicular to AB. Okay, I just draw the circle. O is the center of the circle, AB is a chord, OM is perpendicular to AB. Okay, so in the basic session I have already told perpendicular actually bisects the chord. If AB is equal to 20, that means this must be 10. OM is 2 root 11. OM is 2 root 11. Then we have to find out the radius. So this is the right angle triangle. This is known. This is known. So we can easily find out the radius, right? So the square of this is 44 plus square of this is 100. So precisely it is 144. So OA square is 144. That means OA, that is radius, must be 12. So the problem can be solved in just 40 to 50 seconds, not more than that. Okay, if the angles of triangles ABC are in the ratio 2:3:1, then the angles ABC are, okay, very simple, 3 into 5 and 1, 6. So 180 is 6. So 1 is 30. So 2 is 60, 90 and 30. So A, B, C, 60, 90, 30. 60, 90, 30. Pretty simple. Can be done in 20 seconds. In triangle ABC, ABC is 70 degree, BCA is 40 degree, O is the point of intersection of perpendicular bisectors of the sides, then angle BOC is. Okay, so for what I do is I just draw a triangle ABC. A is, angle B is 70, angle C is 40, angle A must be 70, 70, 70, 40, 180. O is a point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of the sides. The important thing that you must be knowing over here, the concurrence point of, or the intersection point of perpendicular bisectors is nothing but the circumcenter. That means you are having a circumcircle over here. You don't need to draw the perpendicular bisectors like this, right? That's actually not at all required. The only thing that you must be knowing over here is the concurrence point of perpendicular bisectors is nothing but the circumcenter, right? So this is the center. Now we have to find out angle BOC. So it is O, it is BOC. Okay, I just changed the color. So precisely you have to find out this angle. Okay, from this segment or this arc, this is angle at the center, and from the same arc this is angle at the circumference. So this angle must be double of this angle. So if it is 70, it has to be 140. So if you know this logic that a concurrence point of perpendicular bisectors is circumcenter, then you can solve this problem in 30 to 40 seconds. And if you don't know that, then just leave the problem. It will be really a time consuming. Okay, time consuming process for you. So answer is 140. If the measures of the side triangle this, the triangle would be. The three sides are different, so it cannot be equilateral, cannot be isosceles. Let's try for a right angle triangle. If it is right angle triangle, sum of square of two sides will be equal to the square of the third side. So I just square it. It is x4 minus 2x square plus 1. It is x4 plus 2x square plus 1, and it is 4x square, right? Now if I add these two, I'll be getting x4 plus 2x square plus 1, that is the third side, right? That means square of this plus square of this is equal to square of this. That means it is a right angle triangle where these two are perpendicular and base, any of them, and this is the hypotenuse. So it is a right angle triangle. Pretty simple. If the side of an equilateral triangle is 24 centimeter, then radius of the circumcircle of the triangle. In the basic sessions of circle, I have given you the formula for circumradius, that is R is equal to ABC by 4 delta. Here ABC are the sides of the triangle and delta is area of the triangle, right? So R is circumradius, ABC sides and 4 area. So ABC will be same because it is an equilateral triangle. So I put 24 into 24 into 24 by 4. Equilateral triangle area is root 3 by 4 into side square, right? Side is 24, 4 and 4 is cancelled, 24 is cancelled, into root 3 by root 3, this is 3, 8. So radius is 8 root 3. Okay. So if you know this relation, very easy to solve. A tape recorder is sold for rupees 935 at a profit of 10%. What would have been the actual loss if it had been sold for rupees 835? Pretty simple, 935 divided by 1.1. So it is actually 85 into 11 by 1.1. So cost price is actually 850. This is selling price divided by profit data, that is 1.1. You will be getting the cost price, that is 850, right? So 850 is the cost price, 835 is the selling price, then 15 rupees loss will be there. So very simply you can do. Okay. The angle bisector of triangle bisect the opposite side, then which type of triangle is it? Okay. So it's pretty simple. Angle bisector bisects the opposite side, that means the triangle has to be isosceles. Okay. If each angle of a triangle is less than the sum of other two, then the triangle is obtuse angle. It is not possible because in case of obtuse angle, one angle will be more than 90, right? Suppose I can take 120, 30 and 30. Right, so in that case the two angles will be, sum of these two angles will be less than this. So obtuse angle is not possible, right angle not possible, sum of two angles will be equal to the third angle, so it's not possible. Every time it is not necessary that is an equilateral, right? It is possible in equilateral, but it can be an acute angle triangle also, right? 50, 60, 70 is also valid. So it need to be an acute angle triangle, not necessarily equilateral. Okay, so acute angle is correct. In fact, acute angle triangle, equilateral is also an acute angle triangle. ABC are 3 points on the circumference of circle. If AB is equal to AC is this, and angle BAC is 90 degree, find the radius. Here we have the 3 points A, B and C. Length of AB is equal to length of AC. So I just take A over here, B over here, C over here. So AB is equal to AC, right? And both of them are of 5 root 2. BAC is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. So BC must be diameter of the circle because angle in semicircle is 90 degree. So this is the basic property you must be knowing, right? So BC must be diameter of the circle because angle BAC is 90 degree. So this is 90 degree. Now ABC, it is a right angle triangle. This is 5 root 2, this is 5 root 2. So square of this plus square of this will be square of this. So square of this is 25 into 250 plus 50, 100. So this must be 10. So diameter must be 10. That means radius must be 5. So the only thing you must be knowing over here is the angle in semicircle is 90 degree. Question from trigonometry. You must be knowing the value of sin 30, cos 45, tan 30, sin 290, cos 90. You must attend the basic sections of trigonometry. Sin 30, it is 1 by 2, so it is 1 by 4 square. Cos 45, 1 by root 2, so it is 1 by 2. Plus 5 into tan 30 is 1 by root 3, so it is 1 by 3. Plus 3 by 2. Sin 290, sin 290 is sin 360 minus 60. 360. I'm sorry, sin 290. I'm sorry, it is actually sin square 90, not 290, sin square 90. So it is 3 by 2, just a moment. So 3 by 2 sin square 90. Sin 90 is 1, so it is 3 by 2 only. Minus cos 90 is 0. So it is 1 by 8 plus 5 by 3 plus 3 by 2. So LCM is 24, 3 plus 8, 5's 3, I'm sorry, 8 and 3, 8, 8 plus 5, 40, 8 into 5, 40, 2, 12 is 36. So 40 plus 39, 79. So 72 plus 7, so 7 by 24, 3, 7 by 24, right? 24 into 3, 72 plus 7, 79 by 24. Okay? I hope you are clear. Very simple problem. Okay. Cos square theta minus sin square theta is 1 by 3. Theta is between 0 to pi by 2. That means it is in first quadrant. The value of cos 4 theta minus sin 4 theta. Now can be done verbally. Cos 4 theta minus sin 4 theta is cos square theta plus sin square theta into cos square theta minus sin square theta. Right? So cos square theta plus sin square theta. I just write a square, a4 minus b4 is a square minus b square into a square plus b square. You should be able to do it verbally. A square plus b square, here it is cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is 1. So it is only a square minus b square. Okay, so that is cos square theta minus sin square theta, that's nothing but 1 by 3. Sorry, the person has done typing mistake over here. The first option is actually 1 by 3. So that's the correct one. He's just copied options in both the questions. Sorry, the correct answer is 1 by 3. In the examination paper, the options were correct. Over here, it is a typo error. I hope you are getting my point. Tan theta is equal to 1 by root 11 and theta is in first quadrant. The value of this. Okay. So tan theta is basically perpendicular by base. So this is perpendicular, this is base. So 11 plus 1, 12, it is root 12. Now cosec square theta, sec square theta, we can calculate it very easily. Cosec theta is sin theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse, so cosec theta is hypotenuse by perpendicular. So hypotenuse is root 12, perpendicular is 1, so root 12 square will be 12. So, cos theta is base by hypotenuse, so sec theta will be hypotenuse by base, so it is 12 by 11. Okay, 12 plus 12 by 11. So 11 into 12, 132. 132 minus 12, 120 by 132 plus 12. So it is 12, 10, 12, 12. So it is 5 by 6. Pretty simple. Trigonometry once again. 1 upon root 2 sin pi by 6, that is sin 30, 1 upon 2, cos 45, 1 upon root 2, cot pi by 3, cot 60, tan 60 is root 3, so cot 60 will be 1 upon root 3. Sec 30, cos 30 is root 3 by 2, so sec 30 will be 2 by root 3, plus 5, 10 pi by 4, 10 pi by 4, 10 45, that's 1. So it is 5 by sin pi by 2 is 1, so it is 5 by 12. So it is 1 upon 4 precisely minus 2 upon 3 this and plus 5 by 12. Take LCM 12, 4, 3, 3, 4, 8 and plus 5. So 5 and 3, 8 minus 8 is 0. Okay. Sin theta is 3 by 5, then value of this. So sin theta is 3 by 5, that means this is 3, this is 5, that this must be 4. Tan theta is perpendicular by base, so it is 3 by 4. Cos theta is base by hypotenuse, 4 by 5. Cot theta, opposite of tan theta, reciprocal of tan theta, so it is 4 by 3. Cosec theta, reciprocal of sin theta, that is 5 by 3. Just take LCM. 5 3s are 15 plus 16 by 20, and this is 4 plus 5, 9 by 3, that is 3 only. Okay, so 16 plus 15, that is 31 by 60. Pretty simple. A cos theta plus B sin theta is equal to P. A sin theta minus B cos theta is Q. We want the relationship between AB, PQ, right? So what we can do is since we know that cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. what we can do, I just square this and this. So it is a square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta plus 2ab sin theta cos theta is equal to p square. Similarly, it is a square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta minus 2ab sin theta cos theta is equal to q square. So this is cancelled. A square cos square theta plus a square sin square theta, if you take a square common inside the bracket, cos square theta plus sin square theta will be there. So that's actually 1. So similarly over here, a square plus b square is equal to p square plus q square, right? So a square plus b square is equal to p square plus q square. So the very basic problem from trigonometry. From a point P on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a 10-meter tall building is 30 degree. Okay, I just draw the diagram. This is 30 degree. Top of a 10-meter tall building. This is 10. A flag is hoisted at the top of the building and the angle of elevation. Suppose this is the flag. And angle of elevation of the top of the flagstaff from point P is 45 degree. So this is 45 degree. Okay, find the length of the flagstaff. This is x. I assume this to be x. Okay, and this point to be y. This is P. This is maybe any point O. Right? Just draw the rough sketch because you don't have that much time that you just draw a neat diagram. Now I take this triangle. And in this triangle, this small angle is 30 degree. So tan 30 degree, that is 1 upon root 3 is equal to 10 upon y, right? Perpendicular by base. In this bigger triangle, perpendicular is 10 plus x and angle is 45 degree. So tan 45 degree is actually 1 is equal to perpendicular is 10 plus x and base is y. So 10 plus x is y. And here y is equal to 10 root 3 and here 10 plus x is equal to y. We want x, right? So actually we want length of flagstaff, that is x only. So x is equal to y minus 10. So 10 root 3 minus 10, or I can say 10 root 3 minus 1. Root 3 is actually 1.73. So 1.73 minus 1, that is 0.73. 0.73 into 10 is 7.3 something. So that's this, right? So basically you must be knowing very basic, in fact this problem is a very basic problem from trigonometric height and distance. 60 students were asked to choose their favorite sport. Their distribution is as follows. The data is illustrated in a pie chart. What angle should be used for football? See, from 60, football is 15, right? A pie chart, the center angle is 360 degree. So from 60, if it is 15, 60, 15, then 360, 90, right? 66, 15, 6. So it is 90 degree. Pretty simple, can be done in 20 seconds. If in a triangle ABC as drawn in the figure, AB is equal to AC and ACD is 120 degree, then angle A is equal to, a very simple question, AB is equal to AC. So if AB is equal to AC, this is X, this should be X. Now this is 120, that means this must be 60. So if it is 60, it has to be 60. 60, 60, that means it has to be 60. So angle A has to be 60 degree, very simple. Okay. Also see questions from data interpretation section. Cells, cool sip, pop-up, dewdrop. 3 types of drinks are there. Cells in lac bottles. Okay. The first question, in which year the sale of the cool sip is minimum? Cool sip, blue one, minimum in year 1989. Okay. Pretty simple. None of the above. In case of which soft drink was the average annual sale maximum during the period 1988 to 1993? To find out maximum average, was the average annual sale maximum, we need to total the individual. Okay, so here I just take cool sip, 25 plus 7, 32, 32 plus 17, that is 49, 49 plus 15, 64 plus 25, 60 and 20, 80, 89, 89 plus 30, 120, that is 119. So COOL-SIP is 119. Here somehow I feel it must be 18. It is more than 7, so it is 50. Instead of 17 I just take 18, so it must be 120. Pop-up 10, 15, 25, 25, 50, 50 and 15, 65, 65 and 30, 95, 95 and 25, 95 and 25, 120. Okay. Dew drop. Here it is 10, 15, 25, 25 and 25, 50, 50 and 15, 65, 65 plus 30, 95, 95 plus 25, 120. I'm sorry, I have calculated dew drop in both the cases. Really sorry, that's an unnecessary time wastage. Need to see this. 30 and 35, 65, 65 plus 30, 30 and 30 and 35, that is 95, 95 and 25, that's 120, 120 plus, okay, it is going beyond 120, so no need to check further. Pop-up will be highest, because the total is highest, that means average will also be highest. What was the approximate percentage drop in the sale of pop-up in 1990 over its sale in 1989? 1990 pop-up, it is 30, and 1989 it is 35. It is 30, it is 35. So from 35 to 30. So 5 over 35, because cell is dropped from 35. So in the base we need to take 35. And drop is 5, so 5 by 35 into 100. So 100 by 7, around 14%. Okay. What was the approximate percentage increase in sales of COOL-SIP in 1990 from 1989? COOL-SIP, blue one, 89, it is 7 and here it is 18, right? 7 and 18. So increase is 11 over 7 into 100. So it is almost 14 point something, so it is around 151%, you can say. In which year sale of dew drop is maximum? Dew drop is maximum in year 1992. Very simple. In case of which soft drink was the average annual sale minimum during the period 1988 and 1993? Okay, total we have already calculated, and we got to know that COOL-SIP and pop-up, both of them are COOL-SIP and dew drop, both of them are 120 and pop-up is more than that, right? So minimum of this minimum total will be of COOL-SIP and dew drop. COOL-SIP and dew drop, right? So we have done 49 questions in this session. I don't know what was the one question. So 49 question in this session. As I told you, in the single session we'll be taking all the 49-50 problems, right? So that's pretty easy. You can, when I'm explaining the problems to you, that means you can assume the time which I'm taking is 50% more that I could have actually taken. Okay, so you need to practice. I'll see you in the next session in the solution of SSC CGL 2014 paper. Bye bye.